Ladies and gentlemen, we're here with the legends Trav and KG for the inaugural episode of Goats. Right, as we saw, our producer guy, Vitamin J, as we call him, that's slang for semen, but he accepts it and he loves it. That's what I'm saying. Vitamin J, Vitamin S, he's fine with it.
Vitamin J.
Vitamin J.
Vitamin J.
Wait, I don't like what's going on. You lot have got the headphones on. I'm not. No.
Yeah, we'll get the headphones on. Like, look, you got seconds to get involved while I'm still chatting shit, right? So the long and short of it is that we had this mad idea, and Trav and I have become like internet besties, like aggressively close, and we've decided that we're gonna have a monthly debate show with Streets' produced fantasy fights, because what's more fun than to talk shit about the things that we like with our friends?
Indeed.
So we're going to do a little bit of a format. So we'll do 4-ish fights. Look at him. He's got his headphones on and a hat. Someone's doing all right. Look at him. He's getting that Sky Cash.
Oh, well.
Look at that.
How the other side live.
What's it like? What's it like to have a warm head?
You know what? Yeah, I realized that things are different because my daughter asked me for a pony the other day, and I was like, "Does she think she's white, or is she taking it like? Does she really believe in that world?" I don't know. I'm gonna go on the line of I think she thinks she's white. We do live in a predominantly white area, but it is white. Right. If he wants a pony, I gotta get it.
A few questions though, right? So I personally have never seen we've all seen Horsey Birds, and most of them look like Ricky Hatton, right?
Yeah,
they kind of have that square breeze block head and a side parting, and it's just a mess. I've never seen a black Horsey Bird. I've never seen that.
Well, do you know what? It needs to be done because when I have a son, I'm gonna make him play darts. So literally,
wow,
I'm fucking it up.
Look at that.
Kids. So we're gonna get my daughter on the horse.
My son's playing ice hockey. We're turning this whole thing around.
There's already a few ice hockey players. I googled that recently.
But they're not dominant though. They haven't made a mark. Like otherwise they'd make headlines. They haven't. So there's still room. Like, who's the Tiger Woods equivalent of the hockey game? No one.
Not now. It used to be Wayne Gretzky, didn't it?
And this is it because
I didn't.
And you think that there's been a plan in Nigeria to basically create stars. So you got like UFC, a lot of Nigerian.
Are you going to try and sell us to buy into the Lagos ice hockey team? Because I'm out. Right?
It's not ice hockey, it's bobsled. Bobsled, that's where he was going with
KG, that's a hard no from me, mate. I've seen where this goes. I'm from Waltham Forest. I've seen these games.
Nigerian skiing team.
All I'm saying is we're trying to dominate in sports that we weren't expected in. So bowls, you know that game?
Oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah.
I've got a nephew coming for that. I'm telling you, listen, total domination.
It's important.
See, this is fucked up because like the white community can't really do anything. What are we gonna do?
Swim.
Basketball.
Swim.
Basketball's not going to happen. Let's be honest. That's not going to happen. We can have sound fundamentals and get dunked on by anyone. It's just no one cares.
But there's Luka Doncic.
Caruso's bringing it back. Yeah, there's names, but
Luka.
Yeah. Give them another one. They got that other sport as well. Croquet.
Yes.
Okay. What about the Gaelic games? Come on.
That's not for us.
That's not for you, Lord.
Our strongest men, you know, when we're carrying them balls, anyone moving like that, it's not for us. Not my
That's weird. How is there not like a giant Francis Ngannou? Like, I mean, because
we're not interested.
Because it's boring.
It doesn't make sense. You're gonna tell us to pick up a boulder. Nah,
that sounds like work. I'm not on that. That's not a fun pastime.
Feels like not interested in that, mate.
It's way too close to.
Have you been through?
Oh, you got, wait. Look, me and Streets at this point, we have to turn away and wait for this to be over because we're expected by law to experience a lot of guilt with what you're saying, and I do. I just want to say that 400 years, I apologize for all of us.
All I'm saying is, again, why like even bro, I got this message the other day, and they asked us if we want to go camping, and I was like,
Hey, wait, I won't even go camping. Don't start.
well, no, but again, I just feel like there's things that that there's things that leisure activities where you say, yeah, who's gone to that? So if you say like guys have gone on a skiing trip, predominantly, let's break it down.
Yeah.
They're gonna be white guys.
No. There's always one or two like mixed race, big afro, kind of cool. He's super into his snowboarding. He played too much SSX, and his name is Stephen, and he will not accept being called Steve. He will correct you double quick. You're right, Stephen.
But even
that character profile's hilarious.
when you break it down, even in them like Tony Hawk games, there was always that one black character.
Yeah.
And even on the then even on the BMX game, there was that one black character, but you had to unlock him though. He wasn't available straight away.
And they always have some weird name like Shakes for no reason.
Yeah, it's racist. It's racist.
Anyway, all right.
Just to give it that edge.
Sorry. What a detour. I'm so sorry.
Listen, like you guys try and remain on topic at most. Like streets will try. Look, listen, if I've had a bad day, we 100% will make this. You know, when you're in the car with a few pals and then someone comes out the petrol station with the till and you're like, what the fuck just happened? And you're just going, drive, we've got to go. That's how we're going to do this. That's how this collab's going to work. At any moment, right?
Sounds
so,
good.
Streets will be just dropping in the fights that we'll do. Now, as we discussed very lightly off air, I think for the I mean, we've been over this as well, for the threes of listeners that are going to see this and hear this, right? That there's at least some sort of answer. In the event of a tiebreaker, we will have a loaded vote each. Again, we will bring this up because of your unhealthy obsession with David Haye. Unhealthy, my friend. Right?
Whoa.
Yes, unhealthy. It's unhealthy.
It is a little bit. Like, listen, I love
feel
Haye.
targeted right now.
No, you're not. You're being seen, is what you are. This is a support group. This is the longest waited intervention of all time, and you're in a loving, safe place, Trav. We're here for you.
Okay.
Thank you. I'm so happy that you guys are here and you've seen and you've acknowledged. Travis, we care about you, bro.
Listen,
we do.
Had it not been for the Achilles. All right, forget it. Let me not even start now. Let's just. I'll wait. I'm ready though.
Yeah, listen. I know you're going to be like aggressively silent until Haye gets mentioned, and that's okay, and that's your journey, and we respect it, and we support you in that.
Cool.
First one, Streets, hit us.
All right, first one. I mean, we got to go with the all-time question every boxing fan thinks of, considers: Iron Mike Tyson versus the greatest Muhammad Ali. What you guys saying?
Immediate. I say Ali.
It's easy.
It's quite I see the outcome going quite straightforward as well.
Yeah.
So just specifically we're doing primes, right?
Yeah.
Prime.
So there'll be primes and there'll be a mention of the weight as well, because I think that's quite key. You know, you're talking like the Ali that we never saw, the one in between the gap, right?
Yeah.
We're talking about, you know, that's a purely hypothetical, but we're also talking about the Mike probably just before Cuss died, when he's still getting hypnotized, still being spoken properly to and trained. We're talking the Mike that came out with just an ominous tone and chain rattling. That Mike. No intro music, just
Was that a white vest? The white vest.
White vest, black vest, it didn't matter.
Just a towel with the whole.
No, that's right. The white overthrow. Yeah, that's it.
Ankles out, sweating. That Mike.
Wait, we got problems, guys.
I still say Ali.
Nah, Travis is not that simple then.
No, I ain't. Every single one of these, this is like peak for peak, prime for prime, the best you will ever see of versus the best you will ever see of in that relevant weight division. See, now, I tend to lean with Trav because what we saw over their careers, which should be factors, right? Because physical peak aside, Ali was so unbelievably like fortified, and you know, Frazier, fucking bad motherfucker. Liston,
Yep.
terrifying. And, you know, these are the ones that Mike based himself on.
Exactly.
However,
Listen.
with the massive asterisk and caveat to that is that Mike at that point was probably impervious to nigh on anything, with Cuss just like literally giving it the TikTok. You don't feel nothing.
Mhm.
Son. You don't feel nothing.
See, thing is with me, when I say Ali's prime, I go to 22-year-old Ali, or maybe just a few fights after the Sonny Liston fight, when he was like lightning quick on his feet.
Yeah,
lightning quick on his feet. That Tyson doesn't catch that Ali. At what point does he trap Ali for any reliable amount of time to get combos off? Do you know what I mean? There's always that moment that you just don't see happen, but I don't see how he can contain or keep up with that Ali, because that Ali was bouncing on his toes for 12 easily.
But wait, would we call Tyson a hybrid version of a sound Joe Frazier, what we was creating? Remember, what we're talking about is the guy that when it was with Cuss, yeah, and his demise and him not really being switched on, prison and everything plays a role in that. But now we play in a fantasy realm where we talk about someone that hasn't had that and has been, he's quick, in there with the body shots, and we know these again. When Ali's talking, he does say that hey, those body shots, hey, they were hurting. When he talks about Foreman, he says, listen, it hurts. Tyson, Iron Mike.
But you're forgetting when he fought Joe Frazier, this was straight after the 3 years out the ring.
Yeah.
So that chapter of Ali was not really the prime Ali. That was standing trade Ali. That was standing slip shots and stay in the pocket Ali. I'm talking Ali on his toes, dazzling guys, sharp jab.
Cleveland Williams Ali.
Yeah, like that Ali there.
Was a great Ali. But we're talking about Mike Tyson that we never seen. A Mike Tyson that came into the Olympics and was knocking man out for fun. A Mike Tyson that was literally, there was no fear. There was nothing wrong with him. We're talking about a Mike Tyson that is the new and improved version of Frazier. Look at the way he bobs in, fam. What are you doing with that?
I tell you the Tyson that you're talking about. You're talking about the one from that clip that we've all seen where he's literally in front of the big boy sparring and he literally shifts, pivots, bounce, out, right?
What?
With the caveat to that would be that he would still have to get Ali into that position, which would be, I think, quite hard.
But here's the thing, and KG, that's exactly the point I was going to say. And this sounds ridiculous to say, but it's controversial, but I'm going to say it. I don't think we ever really saw the peak Tyson because everything fell apart. As soon as Cuss started, when you think the shit he achieved on pure muscle memory, there were so many fights where he smashed man out and he didn't even fucking train. Like, he's high off his tits, barely training, coming in, just doing what he does.
Yeah.
It's, in my opinion, I've always said this, and I need to pick, and I think this is a reasonable thing that could unplay. In the first one, I can see Tyson taking it. But in the rematch, Ali all day and every fight from then, because Ali's, the way he would, Ali would never lose a rematch, right? And his boxing IQ was second to none. I think, but it's also a little bit unfair because I do see the hybrid progression of Frazier, but then we almost have to put like a timescale cap because boxers get better over time.
That's
the skill set they may be harder back in the day, but the skill set does improve over time. They have the advantage of seeing other people. Like when we get to Floyd and Sugar Ray, that's another thing. It's like, would Floyd fight like Floyd if there hadn't been a Sugar Ray? Things like that. But I never want to say a bad word about Ali. And put it this way, I don't think he stops him because Ali is a man you cannot knock out. A man will fight.
Thank you.
13 rounds with a broken jaw.
Okay, let me go next.
This is what when you first asked the question, I was like, this is a non-starter of a conversation, Ali all the way. Because you talk about them, it's the mental capacity. It's that not giving up. And I'm not going to say Tyson gives up, but he can get rattled.
He will quit on his feet.
Tyson will get rattled and do things, and we've seen it many times. Evander Holyfield. We've seen him go into these little moments in himself where you're like, why have you done that? Now, can we say the same about Ali? When he gets beat, he keeps on, he finds a new level. But then, because we said we're talking about their primes and as if he didn't go to jail, and that's where I'll almost point into the conversation. But when it does come into the mental games, there's no one going to be better than Ali.
Mike Tyson doesn't have the resolve to keep up with the intensity that Ali's going to give. Because the thing about Tyson is that if he doesn't knock you out inside 5, he quits on his feet. And what I mean is he comes out round after round.
Yeah.
And he goes through the motions again and again and again. But he's still not committed to this. Anytime you see Tyson go to 12, he's almost not a threat past 9. You know what I mean? So I'm like, if you don't knock out Mike Tyson, if you don't knock out Ali, which is very unlikely, Joe Frazier, the example that we're talking about, hit Ali with probably the cleanest left hook that we're ever going to see. Round 14, after a very sluggy fight, his head hit the mat, bow, straight back up as if nothing happened. That's not happening. He's not catching him early to have that type of result if he can't do it in 14. So I'm saying there's gonna be crazy exchanges. You're gonna see Ali take a big shot. Everyone's gonna go, ooh, it's gonna be insane. Tyson is gonna try and close the show. He's gonna maybe burn himself out even. And then Ali is still gonna be there with that jab in his face. Round 8, round 9, round 10, doubling up, triple comp. It's just gonna get messy, and I see him stopping him.
Them first 4 rounds from Tyson though, can Ali keep Prime Tyson off him?
Watch Sonny Liston Ali and see that man's footwork. Liston doesn't get near him.
Liston's very different.
Yeah, Tyson is definitely a more explosive version.
I agree. 100% agree. But the speed of Ali's footwork, 22 years old, that's not slowing down in round 10, 11.
But to go to your point about Tyson going 12, this is where we get stuck in that loop because he was only doing that when he was already kind of on the slide, not age-wise or anything like that, but mentally. Like that's the biggest problem with Tyson and all those things. 100% agreed, but I only see that as a byproduct of his life, like what happened later. But at that time, none of that shit was touching him. Then he didn't believe he could be beat. So,
can I answer this question? Just like, and it's not part of this thing, but does a prime Tyson destroy Lennox Lewis? A prime Lennox? Just out there. Just I know it's not like.
Okay.
No, I don't think so.
Prime
destroy. No, I got to go with Tyson on this one. I'm going with Tyson.
We're talking prime for prime.
Lennox? Do you say prime
Lennox? Prime Tyson.
I laugh at your question.
No. I'm 100% with Trav. Also, all of us should give the man who at 9:30 at night is taking down a full sugar large Red Bull like it's nothing. That man is cavalier with health.
Wait, Travis.
Animal.
Let me understand, Travis. Are you saying you're total Tyson, prime Tyson versus Lennox is Tyson?
I say Lennox. I at any stage of their career.
What are you lot saying? Just I just want to understand.
I mean, the best for me, the best Lennox is probably the best heavyweight of all time. I know that's a wild statement.
No, it's not wild at all. It's not wild.
Back when it first happened, I went with Tyson. So I got to stick by my word, right? Mm-hmm. Like I cannot separate my heart when it comes to that. So I think if you ask my brain who would win, Lennox. But if you're asking me, I'm gonna ride or die. I'm going with Tyson.
All right, cool. So that just helps me understand where we are with this.
Yeah.
So because it's there where you can get a good understanding of okay, now when I go back, then Ali, it's easier to break it down because we're not even saying that he's the best in if I put him up against like a Lennox Lewis. We're just saying.
All right, okay. I mean, this can be for another episode, but like a Lennox versus Ali, I'm still saying Lennox.
Let's do this in another one.
Yeah, that's another one.
I won't dip my toe in this one.
No one give opinions. I say let's leave that for another one. But so we can agree right now that Ali wins it purely. Like I think that he can outwork. He's got more grit. Because it's going to come down to who wants it more, and Tyson just has these little moments. You get what Street said. It's unfair because life happened.
And also, like, you got to remember, Mike Tyson, a lot of Mike Tyson's energy came down to intimidation. at those stages of his career.
Yeah.
When you had someone
You
who
know
stood
that
up
ain't going to work on Ali.
Exactly. And if you stood up to Mike, sometimes it was a different type of fight until you started to have a little chink in your arm or you showed a bit of weakness and then he suddenly fell alive. But if you really brought it to Mike, there's a lot of guys who I reckon, had they been in the right place mentally, they would have stood a real chance with their attributes in there with Tyson. But a lot of these guys were just scared of him. And that's not working with Ali or Holyfield.
No. I mean, Ali, you could anticipate him actually really fucking winding Tyson up in the build-up, really mucking about with him mentally, and really
holding his head and talking in his ear.
Oh yeah,
exactly.
Like we did to George.
Listen, Mike isn't tolerating that Mike with the swoop and the gold tooth, mate, with the swear lines. He's not sitting there. He's sitting there and he's literally just chewing his fury the entire time.
Even if they was on a show together, you seen that clip with Joe Frazier and Ali, and they're discussing the fight, right? And it seems like it's lovely. At first, it's like it's jokes, but then Ali's doing stuff. Ali's saying stuff to him, and Joe Frazier's like,
straight up.
Wait, what? You know what I mean? It's a moment where, and then Ali's still enjoying it. See, even when he's hugging him, and Joe Frazier's visibly upset now. Yeah. He's on this day. What you doing?
It's too far. It's too far.
You can't do that to Tyson.
It's like when you're over the age of 25, do not play fight with your friends because that's escalating immediately.
Yeah.
Someone's getting fucking elbowed and power bombed. Minimum. There's no coming back from that. That's not your friend anymore after that.
It's the minute you feel embarrassed. The minute you feel embarrassed, it's like you're taking a piss.
You have to stick your thumb in their eye immediately, and just move on.
Yeah,
so what we saying?
Ali, eye gouge. Muhammad Ali.
Yeah.
All right, and I have to for this one go on the Tyson first, Ali second. If we can only pick one fight, that breaks the soul. But I'm gonna go both. I'm gonna give Tyson the first one, Ali the second. Then I feel good to both my heroes.
No, he's not winning any of them. Sorry.
Not happening.
He's not winning any of them. Sorry, bro. Like,
I think that one's settled at a 3-1.
Yeah.
Probably.
Hit us up next, Streets. What's
All right. Next, we're going to go. Well, it would be. Actually, I'll let you guys pick where the prime is. Either you got Money May or Pretty Boy Floyd versus Prime Sugar Ray Leonard, 147.
I mean, Pretty Boy Floyd wasn't at 147.
No.
Oh, yeah, true.
So we go with Money May.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. Let me jump in on this one. I'm going to double foot it, right? I don't think we would ever really see the beating of Floyd, no matter who. I think that there's so much more to him. I'm a massive Floyd fan, so is Streets. You know, there's the times that you've seen him hurt or in trouble or pressured, you get a better version of Floyd. The times that you see him bored, he's just a galactic skill gap amongst, like he's just ahead of everyone. Like I know this is meant to be a debate one, but without the, I mean, like Sugar Ray was an absolute animal and a deceptive one at that.
Mm-hmm.
If it turns into a fist fight instead of a boxing match, I still favor Floyd. If it turned into a boxing match, I would still favor Floyd, but it would be closer because I think that what Sugar Ray did way better than Floyd ever did was that he played the crowd, he played the event, he controlled the entire audience with what he did and how he did it. And Floyd never really did that.
That's
no. The booing and stuff like that, fine, but he's not really that far. You're talking about like Sugar Ray, like in the running it, hand up the second he lands something, like just
But you can't dispute the fact that Floyd does it before the fight starts.
For sure.
Like he's riled people up to the point where so many people want to see him lose. They want to be there when you. Either way, he's put in the legwork with the crowd beforehand.
I agree with that. Thing is, like what you're saying is legit, but I don't see how Floyd beats him in a fist. Like if they go for it, he doesn't beat Sugar Ray at that game. No way. Not at 147. So. No, because his power didn't carry up. Like the knockout power didn't carry up, and then you couple that with the brutal hands. That's what created it births the pot shot style. So if he's gonna pot shot with Sugar Ray, it's gonna be one of those fights where he lands a few, but then after a while, because Sugar Ray was also quite strong defensively, like his combinations were blistering, and then you couple that with Floyd's defense, and I don't know if the combos necessarily land, but the pot shotting thing, that's not going to be successful either. Like he might get that off in the first 3 rounds, but then after that, now we're in a stalemate, and I think he might just get Floyd to have to stand and fight.
And this is it. So let's really look at this. Who really pushed Mayweather? Yeah. Would you say even in the Mosley fight, that late in his career, Mosley, you looked at that fight and you said Mosley, like
for 2 rounds he pushed him.
There you go. But then Mosley, I would say that because you need that fighter to kind of assess where we are now. Now, I would say obviously Sugar Ray is way more. He's a different type of animal to a Mosley. But we're talking speed. We're talking ring IQ. We're talking the things that Pretty Boy Floyd gets to do. I don't think he gets to do that with a Sugar Ray, And then we're talking about. Then we get into this. I swear, didn't Sugar Ray fight his dad?
Yeah.
Listen, it's mad. So when we talk about Ancestry.com, bruv, I've already had a Mayweather on my resume. Like, and I know this Mayweather that we got is
that's not the comparison. I
know. I'm taking the piss, innit? I'm taking the piss, but I'm just saying that.
And Mayweather seen his hand was injured in that fight, so he couldn't even let the right hand go.
Listen, the funny thing is, Sugar Ray is smart, and he's got that thing of it's the skullduggery. Even when he chooses a fight, he knows the exact moment now. Even when we talk about
but Floyd's the same. And you would have got that from Sugar Ray.
That's right.
Yeah. So is the master gonna get beaten by what's the Padawan?
But you know what though? I don't really agree that Mayweather is an advanced version of Sugar Ray. I don't really think he's that line. Do you know what I mean? Because Sugar Ray was a killer in there. Do you see what I'm saying? He saw it. He was getting at every stage of his career that never really turned down. But Floyd had that for that young phase, and he just became a completely different person at 147. Do you know what I mean? To the point where he mastered boxing so much so he could win a round at any time he wanted. It's like he decided to fight and decided to just win a round and go for it and just be smart. So
and points.
Yeah, and go to points. So I think he could definitely, if he goes 12, he's definitely in that fight. But if he goes to fight Sugar Ray might, I don't think he necessarily gets him out of here, but he definitely outdoes him in that, because when Floyd goes forward, he's actually not that good going forward. Like, when fighters stand off Floyd, that is almost the best way to draw Floyd out into something silly, because when he goes on the offensive, he literally comes forward just to pour you with the jab so that you can fight him. Because that's not he's a pure counterpuncher at 147.
And it's mad. You got to take in his power. You got to take in Sugar Ray's power. So what we're saying, 36, 35? So Matt, I know he's got like over 25 knockouts. So I don't know, it's hard to talk about knockouts ever since we've seen what Wilder does. So knockouts almost feel stupid, but these are knockouts in an era of harder guys.
But one thing you got to give Floyd, we can count on a hand the amount of times we've seen him rocked. That Mosley shot, like, you tell me the times where he's looked genuinely in trouble. It doesn't happen. Maidana had mad success just from being unorthodox as fuck. Yeah. When he tried to box him in the second one, he took apart. Now, I think one random point which got mentioned, which is very true, is Sugar Ray straight out the gate got to choose their opponents, whereas Floyd had to beat Oscar to earn that opportunity, right? So where it might be a bit unfair is Sugar Ray could have got him a bit early when he wasn't quite as refined yet. So by that, but I think skill for skill, listen, Floyd is a hard guy to, I mean, look, Sugar Ray's an all-time legend, so it's hard to really put him into perspective. But I don't know, man. I think I really think he deals with that power because, I mean, look, Sugar Ray ain't hitting harder than Canelo.
Nope. Yeah. Or Maidana.
No, but the thing is, not as hard.
That won't be Canelo. That's not what we got. That's not
or Conor McGregor.
He was banging. Oh yeah, Conor. I mean,
yeah, Conor. Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
No,
But
the thing is
Manny,
about not- he doesn't have
listen,
to hit as hard-
Manny with his one arm.
He doesn't need to hit as hard as Canelo though, because remember he was like at the weight naturally. So
Yeah,
when he's powerful at the weight, like our main.
no. But what I'm saying is like you still got Leonard, and I really think he's a fucking hard guy to hit clean. Like, well, clearly, I mean, 50 fights, and we can literally count how many times it happened. I think that's super interesting. I really, really do.
Who of Floyd's opponents would you match up with Sugar
That's
Ray
what I'm
Leonard?
trying to do now. I'm trying to go back into the.
Because I don't see any to really make that to say that
like
he dealt with this
a
style.
peak Mosley would be good.
That's what I did. Mosley was the
Peak Mosley because of his speed. Peak Judah when he's got his shit together. Would be a good fight.
Pac-Man too with the flurries.
Pacquiao, yeah, for sure. Like,
that's what's so disappointing about it because we didn't get it. And the funny thing is, I've heard Floyd say it so many times. He says that I'm like the Da Vinci Code, isn't it? So many have tried to work me out. You can't figure it out. I will change. And the one thing that the credit that I'll put on Mayweather's name is he does figure it out. While the fight is going, he'd be like, I need to change something. Even if he's in, and then when he's another one, the mental fortitude is there. Is he a total professional all the way through? Yes, he is. That life is dedicated. He's literally lived in the gym his whole life. So you almost, it's so hard because every time I want to write him off, because the day that I became a true Mayweather fan was after he dispatched Ricky Hatton. So I was like, before I was like, I don't like the way, I just didn't like how he carried himself. I wasn't into it. I remember seeing with his dad, when he kicked him out of the gym, there was little things that I was watching and I was like, it just never worked for me. But then I saw that even that check hook that he did, he said, yeah, that's a check hook. You know what I mean? And then it's, oh, you're a genius. You have a moment of, you know exactly what you're doing. You're not phased. And I thought, this man, Hatton, them body shots, he's not fight someone this hard that's going to hurt him. And he said, listen, I'm taking that guy to sleep.
There's some bodies on Sugar Ray Leonard's CV that just make, like, there's some fights on that. Like, beating Tommy Hearns, like, come on. Stopping Tommy Hearns is a crazy feat to have on your CV. Man. I don't have Floyd beating Tommy Hearns. For me, that matchup is awful.
No, I think he does. I don't think he comes near him. I think he just shuts it down. I think it's an absolute snoozer. No one like that. That is like a. All right,
look at the Floyd. Look what Tommy Hearns did to Roberto Duran, bro. Like, there's some stuff in that guy's arsenal. If he catches Floyd, it's over. There's no getting down and up
Duran
again.
is one of them guys. Like, he's one you really need to pick the peak because
when he fought, he's
a fucking legend, and we love the shit out of that guy. But still, like, his fight was done getting on the scales most of the time.
Yes. I hear that.
We have to be real. Mayweather, it's hard to hit Mayweather,
Yeah.
The frustration I see a fighter have after not hitting Mayweather is amazing. Yeah. They literally say to themselves, I've been swinging all round. I haven't laid a glove on him, and he starts to do stupid things. They make mistakes. And
This is why I mentioned Canelo, because people say Floyd figures people out. And yes, he does, but he also frustrates the fuck out of them, so they become more predictable because they start almost like telegraphing their shots. And listen, Sugar Ray's a vet, so I don't think he necessarily falls for that. But I see him employing almost what he did against Hagler, just flurrying at the end. And I don't think those flurries connect.
No, but what about the Wilfred Benitez fight? That Sugar Ray that walks into that ring.
Yeah.
I mean, where are we going with that version of Sugar Ray Leonard?
But seriously, man, like Mayweather, honestly, you gotta, and it's weird to talk about a relatively current fighter in an all-time spectrum, but he is legit a guy you have to watch in slow-mo to almost appreciate. How the fuck did you see that coming?
Yeah.
Remember when he fought Marquez and he almost like doubled up on the right, and you see him like, oh shit.
And it was just boom, underneath, slip, outside. It's like it was slow motion for Floyd. Matrix.
By the way, him and Cotto are apparently doing an exhibition match now.
Yeah.
As in Marquez and Cotto, sure.
That's
and obviously Chavez Jr. and Anderson Silva, which is just rude. It's just
on pay-per-view too.
Really?
Who's paying for that?
You know what's stupid? I'm gonna pay.
No, you ain't. You're gonna stream
We're gonna watch
If
it.
we're live,
You're gonna watch it. It's gonna be viewed and
listen,
enjoyed.
If we're live, yeah, the hardest thing about streaming and you're live, like doing a watch along, and we're in the late rounds and it's over, and you're like, yeah, we're on round one. It's getting can't do that. So if this is gonna be for home viewing by myself, then hell yeah, I'm gonna find something.
Listen, I think that if you guys are doing a watch along for Chavez Jr. and Anderson Silva, something's gone wrong. All right,
Mate.
You've taken a big old hit on the old YouTube subs because I don't think that's not
We
what
let the fans decide, man.
yeah. There was a bit. There was some material that was in testing that was pulled out that maybe shouldn't have been tested live. You know what I mean? Yeah. Started talking about, like racial purity and stuff like that. And you just like, oh, mate.
Oh my days.
Right.
Hell.
Have you ever seen Floyd tired? No. We have seen Sugar
Oh,
tired.
you're really trying to get Floyd in this.
I'm telling you.
Come on, bro.
Hold on, let's break it down.
Sugar was all about, he had big bouts of blizzy, right? Addiction. He went through large swaths of just not living that life. Floyd lives that life now. I mean, he's so healthy that his hair's grown back. You know what I mean?
False. Well, wealthy is what you meant instead of healthy.
No, I said healthy. And wealthy. He went to Turkey.
He's got the best hairline money can buy.
Big in it.
How did he? Because him growing hair, is
so funny.
It's stem cell shit, isn't it?
Yeah. It's the best. It's like we're not getting that on the regular market, are we?
No.
Do you remember when he came out of prison? I was like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, with that, bro.
Yeah. With he had. Yeah, it was deep, wasn't it?
Anybody who's bald by choice, like I gotta say, you're a special type of crazy because he didn't. It's not like he had the Vegeta. He didn't have the Vegeta. It was like relatively straight. The hairline, Floyd's hairline. I was like, how?
No. The greatest thing that's happened right now. Streets, are you bald by choice?
He's bald by choice.
Wait, hold on. You can grow hair.
Right. This geezer has a sickening amount of hair.
What
I described it. I think it was to Spencer Oliver. We was talking about hair stuff before. He looks like a 140 Miguel Cotto when that drop. Like he looks like a Puerto Rican when it comes out.
Taking the pit. Wait, see,
that is hilarious.
I just want to say this right now. Us in the bald community, we do not accept you. We don't.
He's a fake. He's a fake.
No. This is,
you know what I mean?
This ain't right.
Yeah.
Seriously.
He's never had to do the regain foam. He's never dropped 7.5 on a trichologist down at Harley Street like I have. Whatever.
People in lockdown, because I was like, we didn't know how long lockdown was going to last. So I'm like, I'm not cutting my hair until lockdown's over. And then I was like, fuck, this is going forever. And people were like, oh, did you get a hair transplant over? I'm like, I fucking have hair. I just look stupid when I grow it, so I get rid of it.
Wow.
Like, all the years I've been alive, never once had a mohawk, one stupid hairstyle after another. You name it, I fucking do it. And I look ridiculous every time. I give up. This is the way.
You know what?
I think he's beautiful and handsome, but he kind of does look like a computer game character with different costumes.
The funny thing is that your baldness is like, it's so legit. You probably give bald guy bald envy.
It's like... so serious, isn't it?
Right shape as well. It's a liberty. Everything is wrong.
Bro, the only depressing thing was when they did that Mortal Kombat trailer with the Legos. I'm like, I look exactly like the fucking Lego man.
You know how bald people look at you? Like how black people looked at Ali G when he first came out.
Oh, my Lord.
Like, what the hell is this?
Dark thing as well is that no one could really go after him because you saw the name Sasha and you're like, oh, I can't muck about with this. Wiley tried it and it didn't work out, bless him. Rest in peace, Wiley. Rest in power.
You know the ones, Travis, this is our moment where we don't get involved in that one.
Yeah. That's what we call juice. Right? You had yours earlier.
I was like,
you know, when you just stop, you just go, oh, those are his comments. Those are what he said.
Yeah.
Clear the vibe from when I stopped speaking.
Just sliding off screen.
Listen, it's a character piece, and when you're with two professional comedians, you get away with it. You get away with it because I'm just working on you're mentoring me in this whole world.
No.
There's rules. We didn't take you down this route.
I don't know about all that. You're the one that mentioned Ali G, not me.
Let me tell you something. Rob, right now, you are under the bus and we're Eddie Hearn. Ahara Davis, get away from us.
Fine. There was nothing. I stand by what I said. I don't think I said anything wrong.
Yes, you do stand by it, because I don't.
Oh. Back to topic, please, Streets. Let me just look over into the distance. Wait for it to be over.
Street, I'm calling it right now. This is the one where I'm gonna put my vote in, and sorry, Sugar Ray. I'm sorry. I know Rob was really trying to get Mayweather in there. I just think the power, the speed. I tried to use Mosley as my little measuring stick because Mosley's kind of quick. We obviously got a way better fighter in Sugar Ray. It's like we're not even talking about Pretty Boy that's knocking guys out. We're talking about Money May. Nah, I'm sorry, Sugar Ray.
All right, let me ask this side question. Who do you consider the better boxer then? Pretty Boy or Money?
I say the better boxer is probably Money.
Pretty boy wanted to please.
Yes.
He wanted to please and he wanted the crowd, and then he got to a certain point where he's like, oh, fuck this.
I think Sugar Ray, Pretty Boy.
Shout out to DeMarcus.
But not Money. I would go for Money over Sugar Ray. I go for Sugar Ray over Pretty Boy. Because for that reason, I think in a firefight, yeah, but I don't think when we're talking about Money, mate, he's not that. Like, when does he ever fall for that shit?
But you're taking out Sugar Ray's boxing ability, though. He can box. He's not going to make the
sure. Floyd's a better boxer. Sure. Floyd's a better boxer. Floyd shuts him down. If Floyd wants to throw 7 jabs around and shuts that shit down, he does. Fact.
I want to be like, but Floyd. We're talking about pressurized, though. Has Floyd been pressurized by an elite fighter?
Yeah.
Yes.
Not Money May.
Madonna gave it a go, didn't he?
Madonna, bro, like that was absolute.
But what are we talking about? Where do you put Madonna next to the Sugar Ray Leonard of this world?
Well, I mean,
mate, if Madonna catches you, mate, you know about it.
This is what I'm saying, but we're talking about. So when we talk about pressure, we're talking. The best we can do is Madonna.
So let's look at Madonna's success in that fight. Yeah, in the first fight, especially, he had some success. The unorthodox punches. There was even that infamous way where Floyd got timed on his pull counter and he caught him on the button. Seconds more in that round, we don't know what that looks like. Yeah. Now, it's very, very hard to convince me that Sugar Ray Leonard will not have a moment like that with Floyd. Like, and if he does
enough of a moment to put him out. That's what he's saying.
Well, the thing is, now we're getting to a territory that's really tricky, but Sugar Ray Leonard is a closer. He is an absolute closer. And you land on a button like that where Floyd is just for that moment staggered. Why doesn't Sugar Ray Leonard close it? I don't see how he does, or put him down at the least.
Yeah, but who does that? Listen, Floyd had 50 fights, and not once did that ever come close to.
Well, he went down to Izab Judah. It just wasn't counted.
Yeah, that's just down is very subjective. There.
He touched down.
He touched down. Okay, the closest, and he went down when he broke his hand with that boy. Yeah, again, but like the only time that he was ever really truly hurt was Mosley.
Yeah,
you've seen him wobbled. You've seen him like Chop caught him, and his knee stiffened a little bit, and then what did he do? He beat the fuck out of him afterwards.
Recovered, man. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
So what's going on here right now?
I am Floyd.
You're getting Floyd? What Streets? What are we doing? What are you saying?
I'm saying Money over Sugar, but Sugar over Pretty Boy.
Specifics like that.
I tried to come at this from the corner of Sugar Ray Leonard as a way to be balanced because I'm a die-hard Floyd fan.
Super Floyd fan.
If I thought, let me fight all the ways that Sugar Ray Leonard could get it done, and I'll see where I land. And I'm gonna have to land on Floyd.
Oh, look at that! Look at the geezer in the corner on his own. How do you feel?
Oh, KG, no mates.
I just saved mine for Haye then, innit? I just saved mine. If we're doing that, I'm gonna be arguing like a prick.
That's fine. So will I. So will I be.
We'll be arguing like a total prick, bro.
This is what I woke up for today. I woke up at 7:30 and I sat alone and I meditated whilst I watched David Haye blast through McAnally. I watched
Mate.
that great night against Mayweather. I sat there and I consumed all of that content. and I
Both
said,
of those
yes,
were like near
I'm ready.
hate crimes. Like that
I'm
Macronelli
ready.
one was rude.
Absolute abuse.
Yeah.
It was uncalled for. It was even more uncalled for that it was a pay-per-view, weren't it?
Disrespectful pay-per-view.
Yeah, it really was. It's worse than the Audley one.
Value
Right.
too, though, man. Like when every time he steps to the ring, he's like, should he really be here?
Should he be
Yeah.
fighting? That's clearly a HGH hormone issue. Like there's something going on.
Yeah.
No, guys.
Like Hongman Choi, do you watch Pride? Hongman Choi, fucking hell.
No, you guys. Audley Harrison versus Haye was the biggest crime. Do you know how many people wrote into Ofcom? They were upset. They said we were robbed.
They held his money, didn't they?
They held his money. They said this is a robbery. They said the way he defined himself. He said, now every time a boxer says I'm in the best shape I've ever been in, that's a line for me. That's almost. I hear that. I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
When I hear that,
help himself with his post-fight comments. So in the third round, I'm going to cut. It's like nothing.
Somebody said at that fight they heard either of them say now. I read that somebody's I read an article. It never caught steam. I never saw it anywhere else. But there's an
Did you make
article
it
where
up?
like
sounds like you made it up.
no, but they're saying that between them, some like one of them went now, and then Haye just let loose and just got him over. So I don't know if there's
That's
any
some
credence to
Rocky
it.
4 shit.
Yeah.
Audley Harrison actually taught Haye how to play poker, and he's made Haye quite successful in it.
So I'm saying they're mates, they are friends. So that whole fight could have just been a setup to just get his boy paid.
Yildirim and Canelo have to be mates for sure.
Oh hell yeah,
that was so
the greatest of friends.
So like literally, it just like whatever happened there between them two, it was like, look, you're gonna be paid. You're going to go back to Turkey. You're going to have a fantastic fucking setup, right? Just make sure that the mansion that you buy has got a very orange roof, just to let everyone know where it come from, son. And then
you have to eat beef. You have to eat Mexican beef every day as a tribute.
I still want some of that.
Man, I love a bit of Clen. Love a bit of Clen.
We'll be all right with a bit of Clen. Actually, I actually love Canelo.
Yeah.
Is that why you're wearing orange?
Canelo.
This is it. Got to support my man.
He's a guy like
Canelo. What's going on? You don't like Canelo? What's going on?
I love Canelo as a boxer, but he did. So I'm going to say this, and this is going to make it seem like I was biased with the Floyd, which maybe I am. The thing I hold against Sugar Ray, and I fucking love him as a boxer, but I love the other three so much, and they had to come up the hard way. And I feel like Sugar Ray straight away got the golden ticket.
Golden love.
And Canelo was very much the same. They're bringing fighters up. There's Canelo weight. So for a while, I remember seeing him on the undercards, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, look at that young kid beating the fuck out of people. And then hearing that he turned over at 15, I'm like, what? Then he became like a massive thing. And I was like, the whole Josecito Lopez bringing people up just to fight him. And I was like, we going down this route. Yeah. So, but then it goes back the other side. We're like, holy fuck, man, you cannot deny this guy. He gets better every fucking fight. Same thing. To be honest, I was the same with Floyd, and it was Cotto for me. It was the Cotto fight going into the trenches where I was like, you know what? Yeah, gotta respect. Because I was like, the way you conduct yourself outside of the ring, you're amazing, but come on now. And then I was like, you know what? Fucking skills pay the bills. It's all part of a plan. I get it.
It was that Cotto fight that made him go back to being super defensive.
Yeah.
Straight afterwards, he was like, I can't do this any longer. I need to go back on my toes and just keep it moving.
That's probably why I have just a block with Mayweather. Every single time, I rate him. But again, with this fighting thing, you fall in love with the stories of these fighters. And there's something about Mayweather that just has never sat right with me in terms of, just even it's the out of the ring stuff. And there's a lot, even when he does talk about, even with the Gucci thing, it's like there's moments when you think, okay, you're not selling a fight anymore. Let's see what your character is now. And I know Gucci made something they put out something really racist, and Mayweather was like, I don't care. Basically, I'm like, literally, I don't care. I'm gonna wear Gucci. No one told me what to do. And it's like, this is in the height of everyone. When people are more aware. A lot more's happening, and your voice, and let's say you've got nothing to lose now. Now it's like there's no deals that you're really protecting. Now it's just like, what type of character are you? What type of man are you? And you'll never see it from him. I have heard that in the backgrounds, he does a lot of charity work and he does a lot of that. But because it's not being visible to me, that's just words. You know what I mean? So it's a hard one. And what the actions that I have seen, it just makes you think, oh, like, get out of here, bro. Do you know what I mean? And I again still pay the bills, so I can respect him because that fighting is mad.
For me, when it comes to like Floyd's character, like if you listen, like when it was pre-fight Floyd, that's when the dragon would come out and it would just be brash. It was showtime. It was this, it was that. After the fights, those interviews, that's real Floyd. It's almost like a Hara Davis.
Yeah.
People got this version of a Hara Davis in their head, but if you talk to him, mad chilled. Like Floyd is that, but I don't think Floyd really established much of a personality outside of this character that he created. So anytime cameras are on him, he goes into pre-fight mode because he feels like, he's
a strong young competitor. It's
he's a hell of a competitor.
You hear one and it's fucking just repeat. But at the same time, when someone's asking the same shit over, especially with the Pacquiao thing, he had he's not going to give anyone credit until he's beat them. Once he beat them, they're the best fighter in the world.
That's right. He's still a champion in my eyes.
Number one, KG, I want you to know that I'm not wearing Gucci because of that. Okay? And neither is Streets. I speak for him. Number two. I mean, Floyd was pretty much like, he was like a child star, right? He's the equivalent of, he's not developed. He had to train. The kids are all at birthday parties. He's fucking on the bag. You know what I mean? Like, he was bred for this, and that's a large reason.
And he had a proper tough as well. Like
the poverty he came from was insane.
I respect him. I just think there's moments when I thought, you know what, as an ambassador,
that personally I didn't know about, so that completely changes things. But on the other side, I do know how much he does that doesn't get published, which I actually think is like, considering how much you want to be in the spotlight, the fact that you're doing this stuff on the sly, that's cool.
And he stipulated to them as well, not to make it public.
No, I think if you saw it, because even me and Travis, we done a pod on it. If you saw how he gave it up in that moment, it just left a bad taste in your mouth. That's all it did. You know what I mean? And sometimes when we talk about these fighters that have stepped out and decided to speak up, you enjoy it. When you say, oh, you know what? I like the fact that you use your moment. And not everyone's meant to speak out. But then boxing does have we can't say the sad part, but what was set by like Ali, what was set before Ali, Johnson. We're talking about, there's so many, it's almost been entrenched in it. So now to be like, oh, that doesn't matter. I don't know. I don't know. It's just me though. But again, I've been outvoted. I'll respect it.
To enjoy
but then this goes again with Leonard's unbelievable PR power.
Leonard,
the geezer laughed up the Bukes. He beat the shit out of it. He done the same shit as Floyd did.
Yeah,
literally.
Right, but no one really remembers that. But they're really quick to remember that with Floyd.
It's true, but again,
racist.
Thing is, Sugar Ray Leonard. Sugar Ray Leonard was he had the demeanor which was comfortable to view. So you meet him, good looking guy, baby face. He's not very brash. He's very timid personality seeming. Obviously, in the ring, he's an absolute madness. But outside, he's like really nice guy. The type of face you can see on your cereal box, all that kind of crap. But Floyd is like through and through. This is who I am. I'm money made. Hate me. I don't care if you hate me. Fuck you. Let's fight. That's the energy he gave. He talked like he was a knockout artist.
Yep. Which I respect.
And the antics as well. I mean, wearing that Mexican gear against Oscar De La Hoya will always be the greatest troll I've ever seen. Like, he looked so good in it as well. He looked great. He looked wicked.
You know what's bad, yeah? Floyd's beef with Canelo made me hate Canelo, and I've got some hate residue left over with Canelo to this day.
Right?
I can't give it up for him. I just don't like him. I mean, I will acknowledge that he's like the man today, absolutely.
Yeah,
but don't push me to say too many nice things because I'll bring up Clenduro. It's coming up.
All right, it's your time, bro. Alexander Usyk versus David Haymaker Haye.
David
Haymaker.
Cruiser.
Who you saying?
At Cruiser.
At Cruiser.
Oh. David Haye. David Haye.
Oh wait, Travis.
Oi, do you need a towel?
What's that?
Do you need a towel?
Nah, mate.
Travis,
Nah, mate.
why do you not like? I feel like you don't want to accept
Let's get into it then.
how good of a boxer Usyk actually is.
Let's get into it, shall we?
We should.
Right.
Because we're going to talk about. Wait, hold on, Trav. This is it. This is what we're going to do right now, yeah? Because you need to take out your agenda the same way you tried to do that with Floyd. You attempted, and it was fake. I shouldn't even believe in it, bro. It was okay. It was like, yeah, I'm going to look at it. I'm going to try and lay down the line, and you know what? Floyd Mayweather. Bro, I don't know what he was talking about. So anyway, now let's look at this properly, Travis, yeah? You're talking about Usyk, yeah? Who is dangerous, whose ring IQ to stay out the way, yeah, is something we never seen. A man can work it out in the first round, the distance that I need to be in to be good in this fight, and he'll keep hitting his opponent to make them they'll give up. They actually give up in the ring against him. This is who this guy is, and I know your fire is explosive, but is your fire hitting my guy? Ask yourself that. Is he hitting him? Go on, Travis.
Is this my time to speak now?
Yes, it is.
Wonderful.
Next time we need a speaking stick, like in group therapy.
Right. So let's look at Usyk.
Yeah,
let's look at his attributes. All right. Yeah. When he beats his guys, we say tremendous IQ. We don't say power. All right. When he beats these guys,
I don't know. I'll spell you.
Why would I spell you anything? I'm talking about Usyk right now.
And you backed up your guy, bruv.
Listen, shut up, man. David Haye was way past his prime when he fought Bellew. And injured. Settle down.
You backed up your guy twice, bruv. In the round table, was your man talking? No, he couldn't talk.
Bro, how funny this is. Bro, David Haye was up on the points card until the Achilles burst. After that point, it took him 6 rounds to stop him. Get out of here with that nonsense about Bellew. When he came into the second fight, he had this blue.
We're gonna bring
David Haye. Let me speak. David Haye came into that second fight with a back brace built into his shorts. It looked like he's wearing a freaking balloon, bruv. It was all over. Okay, so don't tell me about Bellew, right? Now, when we look at Usyk, we say he's got big power. The thing about Usyk is that he's very easy to hit. Right at that level, at the top class level, he takes shots, bro. Chisora is able to put hands on him. Now you can say, oh, he didn't really get too much success, bro. He had some moments where he landed on him.
Chisora did. Wait, what are you talking about right now, Chisora?
Hold on. Look. KG, did Chisora not land some shots?
Here's a solid question, okay? At any point during that fight, did you have Del Boy close to winning?
No.
That's
what I'm saying.
Fine. Okay, that's one question. Okay.
I'm using a specific example of him being able to land.
What was that? So punching someone on the thigh with the back of the hand, giving it that one, doesn't. I mean,
this man.
Listen.
That's listen.
When
right?
you see,
we've gone out of our weight division. We're talking cruiser.
Yeah.
Look at the nature of how this guy beats these guys. Yeah. If we're the Bellew and Usyk fight, what are we saying what weight that was? Are we saying that was at cruiser?
Cruiserweight.
That's at cruiser.
Cool, that's at cruiser.
So that was the WBC cruiserweight champion, where Usyk became undisputed the second. Yeah. So only Evander had that. David didn't do that.
Cool. So we seen him steam. So we seen him steam Bellew. Yeah, walked him down, took whatever he had to give, and then knocked him out. Right. Do we see him walking David Haye down? An absolute banger with the athleticism is very different from a Bellew, bro.
But he's not down.
You're not hearing me because when
I'll give you that.
When David Haye gets it going, we're talking first 3 rounds, that fresh David Haye, and he catches him on the button. I don't care who you are, you're not walking through that. You're not pressure cooking David Haye.
I'm saying he's not gonna have to do that. He's gonna assess him so quickly. We saw it.
In this conversation, let me get off. Let me get off what I'm saying. You're getting in my way. I'm sick of this. Listen, get him out of here.
Okay. Speaking stick. KG, please get your point over. Go. Get this. Go.
You've been making faces all day long because you've been listening to this nonsense. You're like, what is he talking about? This man, yeah. We're talking. Who's done it? Who else is? We're talking about levels right now. Yeah. Your fighter. Yes, Travis, your fight, you're talking, when is he going to get Usyk?
Prime David Haye. Prime David Haye. Was that what we're saying? Prime Haye, Prime Usyk.
I'm talking
Prime Haye, Prime
No,
Usyk.
this is Prime Haye before, with the loss from ages ago with Carl Thompson when he was way earlier in the game. So Prime Haye, that loss is way back in the rear view. There is no defeats to speak of.
That's a learning experience.
Exactly. So there's
That's
no
made him
defeats to
better.
speak of. There's no defeats to speak of. So we're talking Prime Haye that
You don't
blast these guys away.
But we don't even have to do that with my fighter.
Yeah.
He ain't got none.
But he was never in with Haye. He was never in with Haye, which is why we're having this conversation. Yeah? So let's do it.
No,
I'm saying this.
Wait, hold on. I'm still going, bro. He's got eyes too big for his eyes are too big for his head, bro. He was sitting in the corner saying, he looked at AJ. I look at AJ. I think I got what it takes to beat him. No, you don't, bro. You don't even have what it takes to beat Belly, bro. What the hell are you doing talking?
Chatting rubbish, bro. Because we're going back to the Belly point. Belly, he was done by the time Belly happened. Get out of here with that silly point.
No champion blames
silly point. It's a silly point. It's a silly point.
I'm the one that mentioned Tollgate.
It's a silly point. We're talking at cruiserweight. Again, another silly point.
Once again, your guy makes excuses.
You're
Yeah?
loud.
And
you're not changing your point.
Your guy makes excuses. He's been making excuses his whole career, bro. What we talking about, right?
Improve your argument and not the volume.
All right, here we go. Improve my argument. My guy has never lost, bro. My guy, he's got boxing IQ that your man is not catching.
He's done nothing at heavyweight. Meanwhile, David Haye is a champion.
No, we're talking about cruiser. We're talking about
cruiserweight.
Anyway, okay, cool. But listen to what I'm saying.
Yeah.
People underestimate the power of freakish athleticism. It's why Roy Jones is up there all-time great. When you just can do certain things, it doesn't need to be backed up by this crazy deep amateur. Bro, he found it because the equalizer.
It's the equalizer.
It's the equalizer, absolutely. But he has an equalizer that Usyk doesn't have. Usyk doesn't have pop like that.
I don't know.
No, he doesn't have pop.
I think at Cruiser, he'll hurt.
He does not have David Haye power.
No, he doesn't have David Haye power.
There's pop.
Hold on. Speaking stick. Hold on. Where is it? Look, I'm going to use this. I'm going to use the Biggie Buddha.
All right.
Right? Did David Haye get hurt at Cruiser?
Yeah.
Bad. Did we ever see?
Yeah, when he went.
Did we ever see
against,
Usyk take one?
No, but
he doesn't put himself in stupid.
Okay, but no, right. But this is part of it.
Cool.
Now, what we have to think is that Haye more than likely got caught because he is so explosive, because he has that cavalier attitude, because he wants to get the knockout and do damage at all. Now, that's something that you do at your own peril against someone that, as established, like, you cannot tell me throughout the amateurs that Usyk has not seen someone like Haye 5, 6, 20 times over, where it's unlikely that Haye has seen the geezer from fucking Kiev.
Travis, are you listening?
No. Yes, I'm listening.
Take it in. Wait, let that comment.
But what I'm saying, don't let it let sink into this. And we're probably going to get to this one, another one later. But we look at like a Roy Jones. Yeah.
Yep.
You can never rule out someone like that in the fight, regardless of the other opponent's boxing IQ. David Haye is not someone that needs too many opportunities. Do you know what I'm saying? You're telling me that David Haye in the first 4 rounds isn't landing on Usyk?
David Haye, why do you keep doing that? I want to know why you're doing that.
This is what I'm saying. I'm saying we're not. You're telling me David Haye is not connecting with his speed and the athleticism that he had at cruiserweight in the first 4 rounds against someone like Usyk. Yes,
but wait.
Usyk has good IQ and movement, but he doesn't have the natural things that David Haye has.
Answer the initial question. Why do you keep talking about Roy Jones and David Haye? Because I've heard you say
their athleticism, the things that they were
explosiveness.
Able to do, the things they were able to do. Exactly. It wasn't necessarily backed up by IQ. It's backed up by the fact that I can move like this, so I can get away with murder in the ring. That's why those guys in the later stages of their career, it doesn't hold up because it's not backed by anything else. It's
no, but we're talking about
here's the question. Hold on, KG. Here's the question, right? In an out-and-out think-off in the ring, do you think that probably Haye gets trapped by someone like an Usyk? Now, he might get buzzed, he might get caught, or he might have to ride a few big shots on the way through. But I don't think there's very many of them before Usyk knows the timing and he knows exactly the starter / the point to land. Now, yes, Haye had big power, but Usyk, we've not really seen him. There's been no chin issues.
But also, Haye was very evasive. Haye wasn't someone who just stood in the pocket and did all this.
No.
He was very much on the outside and very we could say that Haye and McKinson, what he did to Congo over this weekend, that really reclusive and then explode. So we have that, right? But
I'm glad you said that.
It's not as simple as what McKinson was doing. But we're saying that he's a very tentative because that's his style. So because of the natural attributes he had, he could afford to do those things. But what I'm saying is, if you're saying that he's going to trap him and stuff like that, his hand speed was insane on the inside as well. So it's not like it's an easy take. Like, when have you seen Usyk just walk through and blast somebody away?
But we're not blasting. That's not the style that will go with that fight.
The thing is like Dave, all Haye really wanted to do was to land big left hooks and right hands. He very rarely set things up properly. He was exactly that. Where I think with someone like an Usyk, who is Olympic gold medalist, ridiculous
his
amateur
as well is insane. Just
and
his
the movement,
work rate.
movement. You got to remember that Haye's whole plan was explode, roll out, explode, roll out. It was clash. Where Usyk's not. Usyk's like soften, off, soften, move away, soften. He would keep
and then apply pressure.
Yeah. Well, turn in, and just strangle him, boil him. He would boil him, is what he would do. And on top of that, there was cardio issues with Haye at cruiser. There's no cardio issues.
Yeah, no, I hear what you're saying, but the thing is, you underestimate.
I'm mad right now.
Haye's counterpunching ability. You're underestimating Haye's counterpunching ability, and the speed that goes with that. But what I'm saying is, there's these moments, like when we talk about freakish athleticism and speed, those are the moments that you can't plan for. Do you understand? Right. You can have the best game plan, you can have the best IQ, but you're in there with this man that has power that can shut it down and speed that goes with it. Anything can happen in that fight. So what I'm saying is, Usyk needs to be in absolute survival mode. No. Listen to
Travis, you're sounding like Donald Trump right now, bro.
This is what I'm saying.
Usyk no one's
in that fight. He should be in survival mode.
How many of us thought that Donny T was a little bit too liberal, though?
What's that?
How many of us thought that Donny T was maybe a little bit too liberal, and that was why he didn't get voted back in again?
Usyk needs to be in survival mode to get through David Haye. And as in non-committal until round 7, 8 onwards, then we say, okay, cool, now we're in Usyk territory. But anybody that gets David Haye to 7, 8, and 9 is in their territory. So
exactly. And that's why we're saying that the fight.
No, but that's the task. That's like saying just get Mike Tyson to 8 and then boom. These are not easy techniques when you've got those type of fighters in there. We're not comparing. It's the same game plan strategy I'm talking about.
Talking about someone with
talking about the game plan strategy.
We're talking about
get this fight. You got to get this dynamic fighter to round 7, and then you're like, okay, now it's my fight. Okay, so this is not easy.
The way that I see this is that there's I think a disconnect between like fast twitch explosiveness and also, I mean, look, Usyk's also fucking athletic. I mean, we've all seen the boy dance. You know what I mean? We've all seen the boy dance. We've all seen the boy catch the pennies. You know what I mean? Like, he's doing the juggling. He's doing the wall lights and stuff. Like, he's no joke himself.
Yeah.
Okay? I think that for pure athleticism, not explosivity, athleticism, they're probably not too dissimilar. There's probably movement. There's probably a level of coordination. No. Don't look at me like that, KG.
No, because I'm looking at Travis like...
Coordination and movement is a very different thing to that raw horsepower, torque, explode, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's where I think that it comes very, very mucky for Dave, because that's all he has. Comparatively, in the list of skills, that's what I think is the main thing. I am 100% with you. If Haye lands clean, that's that, and that's that for anyone at cruiser.
Also, so let me ask you a question: Did Tony Bellew get to land clean on Usyk?
Tony Bellew got battered.
Did Tony Bellew get to land clean?
To be fair, he did land a few times clean, and Bellew has pretty good power.
Bomber. They call him the bomber. By the way,
doesn't have any power, so that's not.
He didn't. No, he did.
Power.
It's different. It's not that snap explosive whip.
Right.
It's a bludgeon bum.
Yeah. Bellew can bang.
Very different power.
He's not. Again, that explosivity that we're talking about from Haye is just Haye's explosive.
That's right. But what I'm saying is, my example is Tony Bellew was able to land. And it wasn't like it was just one shot the whole fight. He was able to land.
Not many.
Like, we saw Tony Bellew jeering the crowd at the end of the round because he landed a big one and he was trying to get himself up. So there were moments that Tony Bellew had. So what I'm saying is, Tony Bellew was having moments. David Haye's absolutely having moments.
No, but I think what's his name he assessed the power. He assessed what was going on in there. He said, you know, I can.
He's not a robot. He's not a robot. A shot can turn your lights off. It's not up to you.
I hear that, but if we're gonna say that, Mayweather can keep away, we're saying Mayweather.
Mayweather has a
Mayweather can keep Sugar Ray Leonard away. No, we're saying that he can keep him away and save himself and get out of trouble. How do we say Usyk, who's kept many people away in his time?
He's not defensive for that to be your example.
No, but he's never been. As you said, he's never been in a cruiserweight fight that he's talking about with Haye. Haye's been in some real wars where he's been touched many times. Now we're saying with Usyk, we have not seen that. So now saying that he's not gonna, where are you looking at Usyk to say that?
I'm looking at the Bellew fight. And I'm saying Bellew was in there with him and he touched him up. Now I'm saying if Bellew can, Haye can.
Chill with the touch.
Hang on, but there was not that much time difference between Bellew touching up Usyk and getting ironing out Haye.
No, I hear what you're saying. No, but what I'm saying is this though. Haye, I'm not saying Haye is going to be in there till the late rounds.
You talk amongst yourselves for a minute.
No. That point doesn't change what I'm saying. Because I'm saying Haye only needs a couple of them moments. Tony Bellew had the couple. So if David Haye's going to win, that's how he's going to do it. It's not going to happen over 12. No way. It has to be a stoppage. So if he's getting those moments, it could absolutely happen.
I totally, in theory, see what you're saying. The only thing I would say is I don't see necessarily the chinks in the armor in Usyk where that necessarily is a given. And coupled with the cardio, I think his game plan, he'd hold, he'd tire, he'd move and stuff. Yeah. And I think he is because Usyk, I think so much is the amateur pedigree, right? That pushed him so far forward, maybe than we've even seen yet. Yeah. I think he can stay far enough away until the fatigue comes in. I agree. If he gets caught clean, Haye will put anyone's lights out. I don't think against him that happens. That's my pick.
But we look at the fighters that when Haye started to come unstuck at the heavyweight, the issue was the size. He was small, so his only opportunities were being outside and going inside. When he's got the bigger fighters, it becomes a nightmare for Haye because he's just too small. The size difference with him and Usyk.
He did right against Value, Ev.
I hear you. But what I'm saying is the size difference between him and Usyk, those dimensions. There's no imposing factor where it's like he's just going to be stronger than Haye. There's no guarantee. What about
when he goes up against a better fighter? So when we put him in the ring against a Klitschko, what did Haye look like? Did Haye look like
heavyweight? I said when he was small.
I know, but I'm talking about working it out to go and do something. When he went up against a better fighter, more skilled, someone with let's say a better boxing IQ in a Klitschko, which we can
he still rocked Klitschko in that fight and let's not pretend like he wasn't injured. As funny as it is, he wasn't the same Haye because of how look how much he was going down and falling over during the clinches. The injury is funny to laugh at, but when you got a toe or a foot injury, it's a problem.
Sandals, and then I hurt my toe once and I couldn't ride them.
That's what I'm saying.
I couldn't play my PlayStation. I was in trouble.
I'll give you this. I'll give you this. I think in a cruiser matchup, Usyk takes Haye, but at heavyweight, I do think Haye is better suited towards the heavies than Usyk.
Yeah, but wait, did you hear what he said? He said he couldn't do his accounts.
Listen, when your toe hurts, mate, you can't be doing Excel.
Wait, let's vote. I'm saying it right now. Usyk.
Yeah, Usyk. I'm going Usyk.
Useless. Absolute.
All right. I'm going to get Haymaker Promotions to send a cease and desist for this episode. No one's ever going to hear this.
It's going on Patreon. No one's going to hear it anyway. It's going on our YouTube. No one's ever going to see it. We could pay people to watch this shit. No one's doing anything.
Oh, mate.
All right. Finale time. This is fucking tough. Andre Ward, Roy Jones Jr. Yeah. What you say? Also, is there a time when you've seen this level of skill in a fucking ring? It's few and far between.
No. There's
Yeah.
Loma Riga, that was
the size difference was
That
the
was
thing,
the
right?
size. Yeah, I was about to
no,
say
but I'm
that.
saying skill.
Skill wise,
Oh yeah,
no.
yeah. But that fight was a proper letdown, man.
Yeah.
It really
Often
upset me.
that's often the case.
Yeah.
In this one, it might be like stale milk in this one, because you look at them and you say, this has to be a classic. This has to be, but then it'll be one of them when there's caution. Will it be too cautious? Are they going to engage the way you want them to engage? Because
I think they do.
people can steal rounds. Are they going to go for it, or are they going to say, you know what, I'm going to be?
Interesting thing about
It might be like a Roy B. Hop type deal.
Both of them have no back down. Both of them don't look like they're gonna fucking scrap, and both of them scrap till the very end. And Andre, if he has to be, is headbutts, elbows.
Yeah.
He gets mucky very quickly when he has to. And Roy didn't really do that much. So you have that as a thing. Now there's gonna be a definitive speed difference between Dre and Roy, because Roy at 175 just like
nobody was doing that.
he was like a Dragon Ball Z character.
Do you know what's hard though? Because I got to see a lot of the bad Roy, and that's still there.
Like knocked out.
I've got a lot of that, and it's hard for me to when I really came into like because I've gone back, but when I've come into boxing, it weren't in the Roy era. So it's what Travis was forever took my Roy. So I've had to go back and watch a few of his fights and stuff. But them losses are still there for me. They're still.
You got to delete those for a second.
It's same like when we're doing the Tyson. The hardest thing is to almost create a new. Do you know what I mean? If you go on what's left, you're like, this is fucking no chance. You almost have to and Roy, you have to disregard so many of the final fights. He's one of the game changers in boxing. Like legit, there's like the Roy Jones era where no one did that. No one did the shit he did. He had to go play a game of basketball.
Yeah, to calm him down. It's going to be a long time before we see another Roy Jones. Right? I don't think it'll be that long before we see someone akin to Andre Ward.
There though, because I think Andre Ward's got this. You see what? Like,
you're sleeping on.
God, let me just say this point. You see with Crawford, Crawford's a very good fighter. Just his marketing, everything about Crawford is wrong. Like you wouldn't believe.
Are you telling me you don't enjoy hearing about the new set of tires that he just bought after the end of a fight? Because that's literally his after fight. I'm just gonna go back to Oklahoma, buy some new tires, might mow the lawn a little bit.
That poor guy though, fucking Bob Arum could not fuck him anymore if he tried. Like for such an outstanding guy, you're a promoter. Like it's in your job title, man. But promote the fucking guy.
Crawford is messing himself up at this point.
I agree with Spence. Agree on that whole Spence fight. That's ridiculous. But still, you could have a helping hand. Like, if you're not doing yourself any favors, a promoter should step in. Like Eddie, say what you will, but he'll fucking talk people up like a motherfucker.
But then he's look at Andre Ward's record. Andre Ward, we should be talking about him in like as one of the GOATs of this thing, but we don't. It's only for the boxing purists that are gonna say, "Hey, Ward is the guy." So that means something disconnected with how good he was.
It's the duration. Go on.
I was gonna say, we're forgetting how dynamic Roy was. The stuff Roy was doing, making great. Look at that fight against James Toney. James Toney is one of the best defensive fighters of all time. He's up there in that conversation, and he battered him. Do you know what I mean? Like, we're saying, okay, defensive fighters, cool. We're gonna mention James Toney after a little while after we say Andre Ward, and he blasted through him. Like, he tried to mimic him. He tried to
that backfired badly.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm saying, I see that and I'm like, cool. Andre Ward has got some bite down in him. That's like, all right, if he's getting beat up to a certain degree, he's gonna stand there with you and he's gonna go to work. It's not gonna be enough, in my opinion. I think the defensive side that Andre Ward has is fantastic. But when Roy was in his prime, hands behind his back, touch and now it's a knockdown. That Roy, I'm sorry, I love Andre Ward, and I think he should get way more flowers because, like KG's saying, for what his record has done and the skills he has, he should be talked about more. But the personality was so boring, no one cared. That's the facts. Look at what Roy was doing. that was just unnatural ability, just raw. The stuff he could get away with probably makes him an awful trainer, because the stuff he's going to tell you to do is stuff only Roy can do.
Yeah.
Also, do you think he gives you a couple of mixtapes as well?
Probably.
Do you reckon
Can't be moved, can't be touched. When will you?
Do you reckon he does it? Do you reckon he like signs you up? It's like, look, here's the contract. I'm going to be your manager. Here's 3 copies of Yo Must Have Forgot signed. And listen, there's going to be a bit of merch that turns up, but it's coming out your contract.
After party in Poland.
It's not free.
No, Russia. That's where.
Yeah. My boy Vladdy P's got a few ready to go.
Because look, listen, the Frotch fight, like he talking about being touched, he was touched, and I think the reason maybe historically you won't remember for the casuals, obviously the personality, not, but also because Roy for a while struggled with this too when he was doing his own management, is having that, you need that defining opponent, right? You need that guy that links you, like Ali Frazier, well, Ali Foreman. You can name your pick with Ali.
Yeah.
Ward, okay, yeah, he had them, but also too, he did retire, and fair fucks to him because like he achieved everything, but he did retire at the top. So there's a lot of questions of like, what about this? It's like also too, Kawasaki never gets to mention. He was undefeated, but you know, you're just kind of like, all right. You know, but Ward, obviously, technically one of the most gifted people, but so's fucking Roy, and Roy has that extra X factors. And I got to go with Roy on that.
Yeah, your argument before with Haye is applicable with Roy, plus Roy has all of the other bits.
Yeah.
You know, like
that's fair. He's way more complete than Haye. I don't fight that.
He's so complete that he can lose things and do shit that you're not even allowed to do and get away with it. That's look.
Do you know what's funny? You're saying about not having that opponent. Me and Travis were talking the other day, and we said, I think that's Dylan White's issue. He hasn't had that opponent yet to say, I'm here, I've arrived, or this is it. You know, because it was getting through and was like, who is that opponent that we can say?
We can't dress up Rivas and Parker and be like, these guys, just because the fights were tough.
It'll be Wilder. If Wilder comes back, they'll do Dillian and Wilder, and it will be like an homage to the 90s. They will roll around on the floor.
I'm saying Ruiz too, man. I think Ruiz
would be good, but the build up wouldn't be the same.
Fight. It wouldn't be the
Yeah. I want Dillian in the purple suit and a black roll neck with the swoop, and I want that. And I want it to be in front of a swimming pool, and I want it to all go off with Deontay, and I want them to land in a pool, and it's just fucking just going off. That's all I've ever wanted.
Dean White doing the interviews with IFL straight afterwards.
Exactly. Like Coogan's there, just asking how it went. I didn't feel anything. Like I smashed his face in. You're like, what? Mate, you're still dripping from the pool where you got thrown in it.
I'm not wet. It's fine.
Yeah. It's 2 years. I still ain't seen my son. Bothered. In training camp, ain't I? Other things to do. Fuck that.
I'm a
FaceTime.
I'm a warrior.
Yeah.
That's funny.
So did we say Roy on that one? Just very quickly back to Dillian. He looked powerful, didn't he?
Come on, man. He looked good.
He looked composure.
He was powerful, a bit off balance, but he was powerful.
Did you see the Schultz handoff at the end? That was so good. They like swapped Schultz, like up behind the scenes. They had it on IFL where Dillian's like epic fucking red wolf Schultz, and Povetkin's Sport Direct Russian edition ones, and like Dillian looks at it cold and he went, "My shorts cost a lot more than these. My shorts
he's like, mine cost like 1,500. These
1,500 quid. These definitely didn't cost that." And he's just like, "Oh, it's just a souvenir," and they just like dashed it in his bag. Yeah, so good.
Yeah, no, I ain't swapping shorts, bro. Those shorts are going in some glass cabinet on the wall, mate.
It was a lovely outfit that was wearing. Was it? Yeah, it was nice. That was nice. That was so nice.
And the RIP Hagler thing, nice.
Oh, so clean.
Nice. It was brilliant.
Streets was there that night. Someone stole my shorts.
Oh yeah.
Oh, so this is okay. Cool. This brings me perfectly to the conversation that me and Rob had, right? And Ian, I'm gonna tell you right now, right? So Ian's posted a video of like you fighting and stuff, doing some training or sparring and stuff like that. So I've sent it to Rob, and I'm like, oh man, Ian could really fight. Was he like pro? And he's like, oh yeah, Ian can really go. And then for no reason, I thought the combo was over. Rob comes back and goes, yeah, but I'll stop him inside too. Anytime we spar him around,
but he knows that. He knows that because when I get scared, I get erect, and he doesn't want it. I've told you this.
I said it. Don't even make the second, man.
Yeah. Yeah. I immediately go to the cuddle and the rub, and he doesn't want it.
I'm dead.
I feel that on that note, we should end this.
Yeah.
Cuddle and the rub.
Cuddle and the rub. Listen,
that's
you
funny.
don't you don't want that thumb rubbing on your thigh, boy. It's not good.
On that bombshell.
Lads, I'll see you next month.
Thanks so much for joining us, guys.
Man, have a nice one, guys.
Take it easy, fellas.
Right.
Take care, guys. Bye-bye.